and he leads the way all day. Jah is all I need to make everything just going like you read. Jah alone can give us satisfaction. Fill our heart with love. Jah alone can give us satisfaction. Fill our heart with love. Jah know it's true. Jah alone can give us satisfaction to satisfy my soul. I don't wanna be
Mic is off, right? Okay, the mic is off, right? You have it now. Pleasant good night to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, our friends in Tobago and wherever you are, streaming on the World Wide Web. Pleasant good day to you, of course. This is the Corridor Transformation. Your host, Lennox, of course, with my co-host, my son, yes, a 10-year-old, of course, yes, Joshua Smith. So both of us, of course, will be doing it tonight. Of course, we have what I consider the children's segment, just about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. And then, of course, we get into big people business. But that being as it may, of course, let me introduce, of course, Joshua one time so that he could give his opening remarks. And then, of course, he will read for us, understand something that he wants to complete. Because I warned him, when you start something and it is important enough, you complete it. So I suppose you want to completely read it tonight. Right? Let me just take up the music and then of course he will begin his introduction and of course the topic that he wants to raise tonight and to read about. A pleasant good night, Joshua.
All right, everybody.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, good. You're looking kind of, should I say, half and half. You're not the usual guy that I know, but I mean, you're getting there. All sprightly and vibrant and dynamic and etc. But go ahead, I mean, you could disagree with me. I have no problem with that because I mean, you're the co-host. I can't tell you nothing.
50-50, then after I go back to 1%.
What?
50-50, then after I go back to 1%.
I see. Okay, I hear you, my friend. All right, go ahead, Namir. What do you have to say? How was school today? First and foremost.
Good. It was good.
What are the highlights? Go ahead.
Well, you see a Venezuelan thing going on? It's kind of scared now because today I was in class. I saw this boy named Emmanuel. The boy born out in the class when the teacher was in it. Hear him now. We going dead. We going dead.
Yeah. Well, I want to tell you, of course, and you did tell me about that, and I said that he's listening to what his parents are saying. It's clear, or people who he considered to be important. You know, it's very important that a person who you respect, right, could lead you astray, you know. So you have to be very discerning and, of course, look out for that because he is really bellowing. He really doesn't know, so he's bellowing, of course, what somebody would have told him, who he considers to be valid or, put another way, important to him, right? So be very careful about that. And I hope that, and he himself will have a good friend, a best friend in class, and that best friend may well start to say the same thing, and then next thing you know, all of their friends are saying that, who of course are listening to them. But go ahead, the mayor.
Well, actually funny because his best friend say nobody. And me and his best friend are telling about the worship coming. How kind of man this?
All right, okay, I see. So you were able to dispel, you were able to say, no, that is not right. And you were generating panic unnecessarily. Huh?
And after when the teacher come back, he's still balling my 100.
He said going on then. Did the teacher ask him, or was it not loud enough so the teacher could hear? Because I know these things happen.
No, love. He said, we not going dead, boy. Something might happen. We not going dead.
All right, okay. All right. What again that is of significance to you or noteworthy that you would have taken note of? What you did new today? You did anything new today in class? Nothing new?
Well, lines of simile.
Lines of what?
Simile.
Simile. Let me hear. What's that?
Well, lines of simile, we do it in maths.
Oh, in maths. All right. Lines of simile. Are you sure is the word simile? Is the word used?
S S something and then Y simile. Lines of simile. Well, lines of simile is something like how we gonna do this?
Equal in size? What?
Right. Lines of simile is like you have some shapes and things,
Uh-huh.
and you have to see how much lines you can get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Some you can only get 2, some you can get 4, some could go on,
All right. Okay.
and some you can only get 1.
All right. So we are talking about things that you would have learned in, I think, kindergarten. Wouldn't that be connected to triangles and rectangles and squares and so on? Connected to that, or is something different?
Yeah, actually, I got book and plus 2 we do it today. I was going to get first try, but accidentally, while we was doing it with the ABCs in math, but I was going to get first try.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to get everything correct first try, but my son my back because I draw the C too small.
Is he too small? I hear you.
I was supposed to draw it like this.
All right. People, of course, just in case, I'm going to show you something. You know, we have, of course, as I said yesterday, was testing our blackboard. So here we are, of course, on the blackboard. So we have switched, of course, to the blackboard. So you'll see us when we are doing actual work. We will be using that blackboard in the background. So I want to show you that, of course, we are using the technology in order to bring to you. Maybe we might do something before Joshua leaves on the blackboard itself, so you get an appreciation as to what we are talking about.
So
but you go ahead and make your you want to read something for us tonight? You want to end finally something that you began, which is the book, or you want to say something as before? Remember, you have 10 minutes,
Yes.
So don't feel you're here
what am I talking about?
forever. Go ahead, my friend, go ahead.
So, yesterday, just now you were saying what finish where I do.
Yes.
But yesterday when I was gone finish, you got more.
Yeah. So it's my fault. I'll accept that. Yes, you see how children are very smart. So things that adults do, say on principle or otherwise, they could throw it back in your face if it was a moral story, and you yourself would have, of course, been at fault. So go ahead, Joshua.
The belly book. A continuing high belly, low belly, prickly belly, stickly belly, cold belly, hot belly.
Get into the picture because we are not seeing you on the.
These
on
are
the
white
YouTube.
bellies.
Right.
These are night bellies.
And not too quick. I know that you're familiar with the words, but
are green bellies,
people out
these
there
are
want to
green
hear,
bellies.
want you to articulate it in such a way that they will understand. So don't rush it too much. But go ahead. We know you have 5 more minutes. Go ahead.
Right?
No, go ahead. Finish.
But
All right, finish tonight. If it goes beyond 5.
And then you know there are globe bellies, snow bellies, brass bellies, glass bellies, and high and down by the sea, cooler dancing grass bellies. This belly is great for a number of things. You can use it to help take your bags home from the store. And when when your hands are full, your belly can close the door. A belly is a great place. No, belly is great for a nap on a plane. And for keeping cobs dry when it's starting to rain. A belly is a good thing. It's a good place for resting your cup. It also works well for a chat with your pup. But bellies aren't great when you can't read your weight or get close enough to hug your mates. A belly should never get to the stage when you can't even fit on a stubble page.
Wow. All right. So that's a huge belly. So tell me something. I mean, you would use that. Miss may use it.
I ain't done yet.
Oh, you finish it. All right, go ahead. I don't want to.
To keep them from growling and acting rude, we should feed our bellies lots of fresh and healthy food. Fruits and vegetables, and lots of whole grains, milk for our bones and fish for our brains. Here are a few belly tips. Go easy on junk food like soda and chips. Go easy on candy. And
Pause it. Read that paragraph again for me.
I know you want to make something.
Go, let me hear that paragraph or those two paragraphs that you just read there, boy. Because it's sending a message to me. It raises a red flag, they call it a red flag. It make me notice something. So read it over again. And of course, you out there, listen as well, those kids that are up waiting for Joshua to spend his 10 or 15 minutes with me before we start big people thing. Go ahead.
Go easy on junk food like soda and chips. Go easy on candy, ice cream and
all right, okay, so before you go further and complete the book, I think it's just about two more pages. What does that mean? What you just read here? What's the caution? What's the warning? What is the advice that they gave you?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I know, but I don't want to say it.
Oh, you don't want to say it? Why? Why you don't want to say it?
Because I want to say something about me and
oh, you're conscious. You're conscious that you are one that loves junk food. You love junk food. You love junk food.
Everybody like the belly,
Yeah, but junk food, they say love your belly, but not with the junk food. And I'm sure they will tell you why. No junk food. No junk food, or limited junk food, I should say. So
nobody ever tell me that.
Nobody ever tell you that?
Nobody can't
I never tell you that. Mommy never tell you that. All right.
Well, mommy,
let me see if you will watch everybody in the
world
today.
Mommy tell me that a few times.
No. Let me speak. Everybody in the world today, you tell them what we said about soft drinks. What we told you about soft drinks. Am I here?
Well, it's not nobody talking to.
Forget that. What about what we told you about soft drinks?
No drinking it.
Huh?
No drinking it.
No drinking of it. Right, beautiful. All right, go ahead. Finish the book. Go ahead. Finish the book. No, don't study that because remember you have to go and prepare for school tomorrow.
Or you will end up with a bad belly ache.
So junk food will cause you to end up with bad belly ache. All right, okay. Go ahead.
And take care of your belly. And if you do, your belly will take care of you.
Great. Bring down the screen, the monitoring screen properly so I could see. Not making sense. The screen. I want to see us, so I will know how the quality of the program.
Somebody say no audio.
No audio. That would have been earlier. We have audio now. You speak, Joshua.
Huh?
You speak in the mic. Okay, good. All right. So we have audio. So it might be another problem on the other side of this because you will have on your reception side, so to speak. All right. Let me just switch, of course, quickly to just show off a little bit about the blackboard that we have and the classroom that we have. We are a bit fuzzy. We will adjust the camera to suit. That is unimportant right now because we are just testing. But here we are. Of course, we are in the classroom now, and of course, on the topic here is, of course, English grammar, and of course, there we have it.
Construction.
What is it saying, Joshua?
Sentences, construction, and punctuation mark.
All right. Yeah, so sentence construction and the punctuation marks. And of course, you know what the punctuation marks are in grammar, in English grammar?
I know all.
You know all?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear them.
I mean, to be honest, it's only four.
Only four.
I put my
is that only four? I want to tell you it's more than four, but we put four here.
More than four?
Yeah, it's more than four. You have, of course, other things such as parenthesis and all of that. We will look at that.
I wanna show off a little bit.
All right.
You tell me what you wanna tell me what
Where's that comma? Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Comma, yes. The first item that is for consideration on the blackboard.
A comma is to space out a variety of things.
Beautiful, man. And give me a quick sentence.
They are walking down the road with like a bag filled with shoes, comma, clothes, comma,
Well said.
pants, comma. But when you're saying something else, you don't. When you're looking to end it with an, and after everything you don't pack them after.
Very good. Yes, that's right. That's the usual rules. But of course, you wouldn't be wrong. But that's the normal practice. That the word that just before you use and, which is the other item, you discontinue with the comma. All right, a full stop.
A full stop is when you end in a sentence.
All right, okay. And question mark.
A question mark is for when you asking a question.
But could it also end a question?
Yes.
Could it
Yes.
also end a sentence?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. So it's not only a full stop can end a sentence, also a question mark. What about the exclamation mark?
But wait, the only thing that can't end a sentence is the comma.
The comma, that's right. Beautiful, man. Good observation. You see, that is important because we have to be able to take one thing, even though it may be disconnected in terms of the lesson itself, but you must be able to connect it to the previous lesson, and therefore that is how you build on your education and your awareness and your ability to what is called think properly, because in the exam room you wouldn't get what Miss or so put on the board, but what you will get for sure is the rules which you must apply to the particular subject in order to get it out. That's the point we need to understand. So don't because the miss might give you a particular, let's say, addition fraction. Don't expect that they will have the same fractions to add in your exam. But the same rules apply, and you ought to get it out no matter what, because you understand the rules. Any parting word, Joshua?
You never say the exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark. God. He wants more time than is allotted, but we'll give it to him. What about the exclamation mark?
But wait. Before I say with the exclamation mark.
Still, you want more time?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Before I say everything, you wanna cut more fine?
Hey, go ahead, boy. Yes.
Exclamation mark is when you pay at the end of a sentence, and when you want to be loud, you use that.
Loud, right? Or when you want to emphasize something, you're excited, you use that as well. All right. Give me a sentence using exclamation mark. And could it end a sentence as well?
Yes.
Yes, it can. Go ahead, Mayor. This is the exclamation mark here, people, just in case some people may be getting, some kids may get some problems with it, so highlighting it so you would see it there. You see it in green, that is the exclamation mark. So we're using the blackboard. So we have some additional teaching material from which you can learn. Right, and we'll be using it. Of course, we have some special days where we will be allocating on the corridor transformation, maybe on a Sunday or a Saturday, as the case may be, and have some classes to treat with the subjects that we want to share with you so that you can benefit. But go ahead. I asked you a question earlier. Yeah. What was it? This one.
I don't want to go outside. Exclamation mark.
Oh, Elamia?
I don't want to go outside.
Exclamation mark. So how you said that?
I don't want to go outside.
Yes, you said it. What?
I don't want to go outside.
Give me the word where you say, how you say it? Loud? Right, okay, yes, that's right. All right, that's the end of the test for tonight. So this is how we will be conducting the children's section of the program. The first 10 minutes or so, we will switch to the blackboard, and you will see both of us miniature because we want to give way and highlight, of course, the blackboard. Let's face it, no other program in Trinidad and Tobago has been that creative and, of course, have come up with that kind of programming in order to do what? To make our kids, to make our people better, to be aware, to be able to, as I said, we are going to teach right on this program preparation for school leaving exam, and the objective is to make people functionally literate. And if they pass the exams, boy oh boy, that is additional credit, that is additional accolade for those persons who would have engaged. So stay tuned. All right, so stay tuned. Let me just get back to the studio where, of course, yes, so we get back to the studio. Joshua, of course, give your parting words, and then, of course, we will get to the big people business.
Yeah, but one more question. Just one more question.
Go ahead.
What formal mean?
Formal?
Yeah.
It means when you're doing things in a particular way that everybody accepts, and that's how it's supposed to do. So you see, it is formal.
Today I was in class, and Mr. gave me a little sheet to work on.
Yes.
And after we had stick it on the book. But almost nobody in class know what formal mean.
Oh, formal. But it depends on the. You will get it out. Depending on the other words that they use with it. For example, come to school with your formal uniform. In other words, you can't come with because there would be rules saying what is your formal uniform. So therefore, you can't come with your home clothes, for example, formal. Right? So tell me how Miss presented the word formal, so we'll be able to assist you, and of course, maybe you'll be able to assist your class tomorrow as well. Okay. How she said it?
No, I just want to say what I say. So today I see the worksheet and stuff. So I say, Miss, what formal mean? Miss say, I don't want to tell you. You must know.
Yeah, but I want to know how the word was used, in what sentence. It was a sentence what? How the word formal came into play in your class exercise today.
I don't know, it just come what does the word formal mean?
Oh, that's what it says. Right, okay.
And it was a question about a wedding. We do what even?
A question about a what?
A question about a wedding.
Yeah, and
it had nothing about formal. Wait, formal. Wait.
Yes, it's a formal. Because to have a wedding, you have to have formal wear. And when you have to go to important meetings and meet important people, they say dress formal. Meaning that you have to do like me, put on your jacket and tie. And so, in other words, you can't go there with no baggy pants. You can't go there with no pants falling down on your bottom like most of those youths that I consider to be, I do accept that as the way to wear pants. But I'm just saying, just for emphasis, and to show what formal is as opposed to informal, opposite of formal. Right? So that is what they're talking about. Formal, meaning that you have to wear clothes in that context, or you do things in a particular way that everybody expects and accepts. That's the way it's supposed to be done. All right?
So,
go ahead.
It was 5 questions, right?
Uh-huh.
And now after, I don't know what formal means, so I just skip it and go for the 5th question. And now after, when I don't know the 5th question, I go back to the 4th question and say, miss, what formal means? They say, no, I ain't telling you.
All right. So let's put up the dictionary. Let's get back to the class. Let's get back to the class situation, and I'll put up the dictionary on the. You will not be able to see it out there, people, but it is up. Formal, formal, right? And let's see what it says. What it says, Joshua?
Pays one's formal respect. No way. Begin.
Being. B-E-I-N-G. Being in accord with established forms and conventions and requirements. But I suppose that is words by themselves you will need to know. But in other words, they are saying what I just said, that you're going to the wedding, you have to dress formally. So notice the example there. Example of a formal dress. Right? So you're going to a wedding, you have to put on your jacket and tie, or a funeral as the case may be, according to how everybody expects you will behave or you will dress. Right? Formal. Right? So I think when you go back tomorrow, you'll be able, of course, to not only know a new word, but also share with your friends and tell Miss, well, look, I finally found out what formal means. Right? Okay? Anything else?
Miss One, tell me that one already. What you showing me that for?
Yeah, but some of your friends may not still know it because you left there not knowing it. That's all. So some of your friends may be in a similar position. All right, people. Of course, let's get back to the program. Yes, people. Yes. I show enough tonight because I can show you that we have a classroom setting and that, of course, we have a blackboard and we will utilize it every night if possible. Thank you very much, Joshua. Have a wonderful rest of the night, Joshua, and of course sleep early. I will of course be controlling your phone, so I will keep it because I know that from time to time, especially when you have it to treat with, sometimes you are tempted to go whole night, as many of you do. So I want to tell parents as well, do like me, take the phone. Take it.
That's really right. I mean, use my phone for the whole day.
Well, that's good, but that is an exception. That's an exception. That is not normal. All right, go ahead, Joshua. We want to get on to big people business. And of course, the line is open. Oh, sorry. Make your departure.
Bye.
Speak. Bye-bye. Right. Bye-bye, son. Yes, indeed. All right. Yes. People, of course, the line is open, 337-6940. I think we should be in a better position tonight in order to treat it because we have some serious matters that we have to engage. Of course, the Prime Minister said in response to persona non grata, unwelcome. Persona non grata, unwelcome. Well, the Venezuelan parliament, a parliament, of course, that was handpicked by Maduro, incidentally, it's something that, of course, the Americans are trying to avoid and compromise and, of course, to try to bring back some semblance of democracy rather than autocracy or dictatorship. That clearly, when one man rules, or put another way, when you have an oligarch, a group of a few people engaged, of course, in the management of the population to the discontent, to the disapprobation, the disapproval of the wider society, then that is democracy undermined. In other words, it is dictatorship on steroids. Yes, indeed. Well, yesterday, the Parliament, they have a different name for it. The name have slipped me, but they call it differently. But there's a National Assembly. Yeah, National Assembly. They call it. Passed a resolution in the Assembly indicating that the Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister, Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar, is not welcome in Venezuela. Well, of course, she retorted immediately. Who cares? Who wants to go to Venezuela anyway? Right? They want to go to America, though, but let's go to Eli. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Lennox.
Yay!
Good night.
I want to thank you for that camera, because it's the camera that we are using to, of course, start our classroom sessions, etc. So, I don't want to call any name because they tell me don't call name, but I think we are so grateful that I had to mention that tonight. Go ahead.
Lennox, I was asked about that. I was asked about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lennox, let me get on to business.
Yes.
Lennox, that woman, unlike everybody in the chat, and let me tell you something. What Penny Beckles did is treasonous, undermining the government of Trinidad and Tobago, us to affront the Prime Minister, that you're making putting her life in danger, and the government. I don't know what deal have it is. You do Mr. Kalak? You have any idea about that?
Repeat that last part. I didn't get it clear.
I said, Penny Beckles,
yeah,
that was with the ambassador of Venezuela.
Yeah.
She has no business with the ambassador.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Or one of the representatives of the government.
Yeah.
She's putting the government in harm's way. You don't know what they're doing. But I have a little thing that like I tell Andy, right? Offline, What? Why? I just give you a hint. Why they close down the government, Mr. Lennox? You know the reason why?
Tell me.
Because Rolly has shot someone in the belly of Mr. Basababu.
Yes.
So what do you know now? He wants, now listen, if I'm wrong, you have to tell me correct. Let me ask you a question, Ron. Lennox. If a country is sanctioned by United States, and I tell you, all the people do not do business with Venezuela. Would you do that?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Right. The CARICOM, I just showed it out for you.
Yeah.
CARICOM was doing business with Venezuela. And let me tell you why. Let me ask you a question. When the refinery was running, who they were supplying gas for? Ask me that question. Understand that?
Yeah.
ask you a question.
Go ahead.
When the
Repeat it.
refinery was running,
Ah.
who, the gas and oil, was refining in Trinidad and Tobago, right? Correct. All right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned,
Who
I
there
was
was
just
supplying gas
for my budget presentation, and I will not be muzzled.
Supply gas for?
Yeah, who there was supplying gas? Who there was giving gas? Who was buying gas for?
All right, you answer it because I ain't getting your question clear. So, but I assume you won't ask my question if you don't know the answer. But go ahead.
Well, I would say people in Caribbean was buying gas from Trinidad because they were refining.
Yeah.
That's the only refinery with Trinidad, right? Correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
All right, I'm getting at something here, And if you're smart enough to, right? I know you're smart, but let me tell you something. Raleigh closed down the refinery to accommodate Maduro to sell his gas to the Caribbean. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Raleigh know what did you
Hello?
know? That's the everybody wants to know what
Hello?
deal that he make. And yes, young make with
Let's call back.
Venezuela. Once the close down the refinery.
Yeah.
So he could sell his gas and supply the Caribbean with gas.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why there were when the 4 divers die in the line. They refused to take it out because Raleigh and Stuart Young didn't have a say to leave the people inside the gas line.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't want anybody to know what is going on.
All right, okay.
That makes sense to you?
But yeah. As you put it that way, yes.
So, Lennox, I don't know if you hear me well because, I tell you.
Yeah. You're a bit muzzled, so that's why I'm a bit hesitant to respond to your questions. Yeah.
I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause.
All right. Okay.
Not now. What?
All right.
Somebody
Yeah, because I'm getting some challenges here. All right.
All right.
Thanks very much. Yes. The caller who called during the course of this caller's presentation, you can call back now. Trying to get you on the system itself so we have a better reception and we can have a better interaction rather than, of course, having to guess what the question may be or inadvertently have erroneous understanding and therefore incorrect response. So because that is important. All right. So the line is open. Of course, you can call 337-6940, 337-6940. In the meantime, I'm trying to get, of course, the video with the leader of the opposition going to the ambassadors, the Venezuelan ambassador's office. I don't know for what reason, but I am not clear. But I want to share it with you so that you will try to extrapolate and to extract as much as you can from it. All right. Okay. Of course, I want to say to our brothers and sisters in Jamaica that has been ravaged by the Hurricane Melissa, and of course, I think a Category 5, which shows that there is some high degree of devastation. So let me just show you what the Holness, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, made a public statement and addressed an international appeal for assistance. And I think we here are attempting to do something ourselves in terms of attempting to assist our brothers and sisters in Jamaica in their time of need. Let me see if I could get that organized. Let me see. All right, let me just see if I can get it organized. Yes, indeed. So, all right, I think I have it here. All right, so there we have it on the screen. Let me just get the audio going so you will hear from the Prime Minister himself, Wholeness, which of course making an appeal to the international community.
Overflow either from excess rain or storm surges.
To this, in an address to his nation, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says Jamaica is already experiencing rain and overcast conditions, and based on current projections, all of Jamaica will be affected by hurricane conditions, including winds above 100 miles per hour, as Hurricane Melissa is projected to turn northwards winds. Well,
in fact, it's 185 miles per hour. That is a tremendous speed.
Comply with evacuation orders.
Low-lying areas, coastal areas, river courses, gullies, and other waterways will overflow either from excess rain or storm surges. Extended rainfall and heavy rainflows will also trigger landslides in hilly areas. Buildings and activities in or along those waterways or hillsides will be at high risk of damage, complete displacement, and loss of life. Hurricane winds will most certainly damage roofs and compromise some structures. By all assessments of the current situation, while we pray for the best, hour by hour, it is becoming apparent that the impact of Hurricane Melissa could be greater than Hurricane Beryl. So
people, of course, our sorrow and, of course, our hope for a speedy recovery and very limited damage. I mean, damage is widespread, but one can always say in human circumstance that it could have been worse. However, as members of the Caribbean community, I say Caribbean here not necessarily through CARICOM, but because we are all within the ambit of this archipelagic system geographically. They are our brothers and sisters. They in the north and we in the south. And so, of course, only today, the executive of Love, Lavity Outreach for Vertical Enrichment, in support of the Prime Minister and her stance against the belligerence coming out of Venezuela and the provocation that clearly was unnecessary in terms of classifying our Prime Minister as persona non grata. Not that she wants to go there, not that anybody at all from Trinidad wants to go there, with that matter of fact, not just the Prime Minister. And in spite, of course, of dragon gas, you cannot get that gas at the price that the Venezuelan government wants us to pay. And I don't mean money here. I mean our dignity, our principles, and indeed our concern for humanity. Because let's face it, our Venezuelan brothers and sisters have been put and pulled through the coals in a cesspool of degradation and retrogression from a group of persons that are dominating the political and governmental apparatus of that country, and clearly in their own narrow, minuscule in terms of the number of them interests. And so we cannot countenance that on principle. And having said that, I want to say that I am very disappointed, and that is why we had, of course, a sort of press conference internally this evening, the executive of Love, apart from showing support from the Jamaicans. We also express our deep, not just concern, but also to emphasize our support for the Prime Minister Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa and the government in the stance that they would have taken on this matter. And to also condemn those leaders and former leaders in CARICOM who have been, I am using, of course, a very, what I consider to be simple, a very diplomatic term of being disingenuous, because I could have used a dysphemism, and that dysphemism would have been they were and are dishonest. But I say we're going to give them, of course, some element of dignity by saying that they have been disingenuous. And why? Why? You see, no argument for the Caribbean being a zone of peace or remaining a zone of peace, whatever configuration or connotation that you would conjure up to defend a zone of peace idea, concept, or notion. I am saying so against the background that none of them who Trinidad and Tobago clearly had cause, legitimate cause, to vary, to contradict, to have a different paradigm to them. Because none of them, in my view, in addressing the question of a so-called abstract, a so-called zone of peace in a vacuum, needs any consideration as far as a credible argument is concerned. Why? It's very easy. I would have expected, whether you want to call it a maelstrom, you want to call it, of course, a mortar. Yeah. You want to call it a multiple. You want to call it a hodgepodge relating to the idea of a zone of peace. You could never dispel, and that is where the disingenuousness manifests itself, materializes. You could never divorce from that argument the fact that Venezuela by itself and the regime that exists there under Maduro by itself has created a destabilization influence, a destabilization trigger by over 8 million of their citizens migrating to surrounding countries, including Trinidad and Tobago and beyond. You cannot divorce that. And in doing so, you have to understand, and these leaders ought to have told us, well, they understand the circumstances in Venezuela. Because the people are under stress, pain, ache, agony, and distress. The economy is in tatters. What they going to say? That America caused it because of sanctions? Even if that is the argument, And they are not making the argument. Why? Because they played smart with foolishness. They don't want to anger the Americans, but they are solidly indirect. It's not even opaque, it is indirect. And that indirectness is pellucid and transparent. They support the Venezuelans. Let's not waste time. And unless they could come to grips with that and level with the people, acknowledging the challenges and the decadence and the evil that is the regime in Venezuela, then they could have no conversation, or put another way, none of the populations of these communities where these people either formally or presently administer should consider them. In terms of the argument as far as the Venezuelan, Trinidad and Tobago, United States is concerned, and of course, and the impact on CARICOM. Let's go to the lines. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, Lennox, and good night to everybody on the chat and all who listening all over.
Yes, man.
Lennox, two problems.
Go ahead.
You have a static problem, and some of the callers say the volume low, and some of them want the number to call put up.
For who? Oh, it's not there. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I didn't notice that. Yes. All right.
All right, so let me go down to brass tacks. I want you to invite Penny Beckers to that class Joshua carrying on me. Because this woman, like, she don't have no sense. You know what she said today? She have a problem with Kamala Prasad Bissessa asking for help from Venezuela. She have a problem with Venezuela bringing a warship. But you know, she had no problem. Not Venezuela, sorry. Ms. Kamala Prasad get USA to bring the warship. And she don't have no problem with Venezuela accepting arms and ammunition from China and accepting help from Russia. So I'm trying to figure out what it is she's trying to say. Venezuela could accept whatever they get, but Trinidad cannot accept nothing. You think that making sense?
Well, they have never made sense, and I'll make my comment at the end of the exercise, but go ahead. I hear you, and I think it is, as I said, is typical of this particular leader. She blew hot and cold, and as I said on the ground report today, and I think I owe it to you to say it here now, that I see her, and I see the situation that she's trying to benefit from herself as typical political Kobo attitude with a parasitic disposition. That's how I see it. Political Kobo of a parasitic nature. That's how I see it. Go ahead.
Yes, well, what this woman trying to do is to undermine the UNC government. Because she talking to an ambassador from Venezuela. What authority she have as an opposition leader? I don't know. I see she was signing some book. I don't know what she signed and what she has signed. Is it true that they're trying to undermine Ms. Kamala Prasad Bissessa regime and overthrow the government and appoint Penny Beckers? You ever think about that?
I will not be surprised that would have been a contemplation, even though impossible at this time. But go ahead.
When they had the chance, when they was in power for 10 years, they never signed nothing, they never talk about nothing, they stay quiet and suffer their supporters. Forget the rest of the country. We're talking about PNM supporters. They suffer them. They never improve their life. They never do nothing. Even I think Gasly Dolly now want to know what it is going on with education. She want to know about school. You had 10 years there and you closed down all the school, all the unfinished school that Ms. Kamla Prasad-Bisa and the UNC was building. They abandoned all. Today I passed by the Presal Government School, a big school abandoned. And now they want to know what you're doing for education. And they had 9 years, 9+ years to do something, and you didn't do it. You take away everything. Just imagine, you refuse to open the children hospital. The children life fund, we don't know what they do with it. The baby grant, they cut away that. Book grant, they cut away that. The laptop on them, I want to know what they do with all the laptop that the UNC had in school, if they take it and send it to more from Maduro. And these people and them have the audacity to ask now, what is the position with the laptop? What is the position with the schools and them? And she said she had 3 schools in her area, she wanted built now. And 9 years there, you didn't do nothing to it. And all them, well, you're supposed to know, it's plenty school, they abandoned. Ms. Kamla Prasad and the UNC start the Point 14 highway. They reach far as the Mosquito Crack. And PNM take 10 years from there, and they haven't reached point as yet. What they do with all the money, right? So, there's a lot of things they're talking about, and they was in place to give to the people and to do for the people. Don't talk about the roads. I don't know what Rohan Sinanan was doing. And even Terrence Diaz run up all the hospital and health centers and them.
Caller, just hold on. We have Mr. Freeport still on the line. Go ahead, Mr. Freeport.
If you have another caller, I would make way.
All right, okay.
So
Thanks very much.
Yes.
man.
And have a blessed night.
Same to you, my friend. All right, go ahead, go ahead, sir, on the handset.
All right. Good night, doctor.
Good night to you.
Yeah, good night, Trinidad and Tobago. Good night, worldwide. Doctor, once again, you're on the ball.
Thank you.
Once again, you're right here, some of these idiots, right, talking about do deal with the Americans and deal with the Venezuelans, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let us say we choose Venezuela side and we go in Venezuela.
Yeah.
Right? Eventually, what's going on in Venezuela will start to go on here. That's what they want. Yeah? Because what's going on in Venezuela is all kind of madness, people running out from the place, there's a sort of crime and all kind of thing. So that is what they want for Trinidad. You understand? These people are kudos to Miss the Honorable Prime Minister, and I 100% behind her, and you stay strong, and your little son,
yeah,
heal him up for me.
Thank you. Yeah. He's a
all right, brother.
He's a tower of power boy.
Yeah.
He's tenacious and
right,
he's sticking to the grounds. All right.
Nice.
Thanks very much. Yes. All right. Yes, people. So I was making a point about the disingenuousness of the leaders whether former or current. And I want to say that the Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, is correct. That CARICOM has now proven to be an unreliable asset, or should I say partner, in the development of the region and in their respective interests. That is essentially what she would have said. And one cannot fault her for that, because they have not, those who was talking about a zone of peace, they have not demonstrated any credible proof that they are pro-CARICOM in totality. And what they have in common is an amorphous, what I consider to be abstract, ideological, superficial, superfluous position of some illusion of a what? Of a zone of peace. You see, I would have expected them to say categorically, quite apart from what I would have said already in terms of what is happening in Venezuela and whether they are in agreement. But it is clear that since they are silent, they say that silence is, of course, consent. And consent to me means that they are in agreement that that despotic state of affairs, that, of course, inhumane state of affairs, that, of course, dictatorial and autocratic state of affairs, that kind of what I consider to be hooliganism that is purporting to be government and government in Venezuela, quite apart from the fact that they have remained silent on the fact that Maduro himself is an indicted felon from the United States. They have not made a categorical statement that is irrefutable and that is rational and indeed cohesive on what? On the question of Venezuela's consistent tormentation of Guyana, a member of CARICOM. The only person that made a categorical statement on behalf of the Guyanese and the integrity of their sovereign state or their territory, and of course in accordance with the decision of the international as well as the Argyle Declaration that there should be, everybody should stay in their respective position. But of course the Venezuelans after that continued, of course, to torment and to generate the bellicose language that of course is inconsistent and therefore contributes to the instability that the number over 8 million people coming out of Venezuela have already been able to achieve in terms of instability. What are you talking about? To me, instability is just the forerunner to, of course, an area of no peace. How the hell you could have peace when you have these Venezuelans running all over the place? And in the context of Trinidad and Tobago, we have them now in the criminal justice system. And of course, so much so that the present government is saying, well, listen, it's time for all to leave, The last government, of course, in its myopic and incongruent, stupid, foolish, myopic, blinders oriented foreign policy as far as Venezuela is concerned, and then all they fall back to is a zone of peace. How peace could be achieved when you have the flames of potential destabilization being fanned coming out of Venezuela. How? The flames of instability coming out of Venezuela, whether it be their population, over 8 million, whether it be, of course, the conduct of the Maduro gang against Guyana, in spite of international pronouncements on the matter, that they continue to act as a rebel, as a gang. Yeah. As a people who have no regards for diplomatic decency and tolerance, which of course countries have to learn to accept in order for them to survive in this globalized environment. They are rogues. That's what they are. And so long as any one of those persons that, whether former or current, in the CARICOM, do not address those matters frontally, I say only playing the ass. Only just had a meeting in Trinidad about drugs, guns, ammunition, and human trafficking coming out of Venezuela, being pinpointed as one of those countries that is creating that sociological and psychological and economic disaster for these islands, from Trinidad in the north right up to Jamaica. And you don't have the testicular fortitude or the honesty to say, well, listen, Venezuela, while we accept a zone of peace, you are making it difficult for the country to remain a zone of peace. That is what I expect them to be saying. And of course, I have no difficulty if, of course, they ask the Americans to hold constraint, to be constrained. But the Americans have done some very significant and made some very significant overtures to suggest that they were willing, of course, to compromise. Biden, they had an arrangement with Maduro, quite apart from the previous ones, whether it be the exchange of prisoners, whether it be, of course, the export of crude oil, whether the provision of OFAC license, the Office of Foreign Assets, that would provide, of course, exceptions to the sanctions that would have been imposed on both companies and countries doing business with Venezuela. And Venezuela itself, the beneficiary of ease of sanctions. How the hell these leaders don't know that they have a duty to level with the people and mention those things as well? How just a zone of peace by itself encompasses and supplants and trumps the clearly existential threat that Venezuela poses to breaching that zone of peace in this region and in the hemisphere. Let's go to the lines. A pleasant good night.
Yeah, hello, good night.
Good night, my friend.
Good night to you and all your listeners.
Yes, man.
I listened to your conversation there on the Venezuela issue, but
Yes.
That first Venezuela actually started to go down from since Chavez.
Yeah. I mentioned it last night when I talked about Manning, Kamala, and is when Rowley, whether fortunate or unfortunate, that is when sanctions were levied on Venezuela and of course turn everything old mass, so to speak, as the old people would say.
Yeah, but it is really a complex issue as to find out why it really went down. Well, it could be debatable, but I think that Chavez himself, even though he could have talked, right? And he happened to convince the Venezuelan people, and they went for him in the beginning of his tenure, right? But somewhere along the line, I don't know, he probably made a couple mistakes, and Venezuela itself started to go down. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm listening.
So I believe that it was probably when he asked for, because I think Venezuela had asked back the British for the gold, for their gold, and I think he was refused. Right, but the thing is, I want to believe that he had asked back for the gold because Venezuela itself was going down. So I may be wrong, subject to correction. Venezuela started to go down since then, right? And so it caused a lot of economic problems, right? Even the production of oil and all of that went down with him, right? So and that happened, and but I want to just shift a little bit and go in this area. There was a clipping that he used to play with, where the Barbadian people was against Rowley. Remember that clipping that he used to play?
Yes.
I would like to listen to that clip again to see where we went, where even our country went wrong or right or whatever. Because listening to that tape, I remember that Barbadian person was taking Rowley to task.
Yeah, to international court.
Rowley
among other things, the vaccine and so on that he forced upon the people and all that. Yeah. COVID vaccine, yes.
And I want to even say that Rowley and they made the horrible mistake of even going the Venezuela way. So it has put Trinidad and Tobago in a hot spot, and I believe that the Prime Minister is trying her best now to bring us out of that. So, but what I would say is she can't slip up, because if she slips, then it could be problems for Trinidad. But I think she's taking the right track, right? She's on the correct road. And what is happening is that the CARICOM governments are not taking this thing serious. So you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So well, I want to kind of like hold it here for tonight,
All right.
And maybe when more ideas are put, I'll call back again.
No problem.
Yeah.
In my friend.
Right.
Yes, indeed. Again, it is conspicuous. It is obvious. It is pellucid. It is indubitable, undoubtable, indubitable that a leader or a collective of leaders making a case, as is the case in the region, for a zone of peace and not mentioning, not indicating to Venezuela that they should at least cool it. I understand what the last caller said, you know, about Chavism, etc. But this is about hegemonious relationship. This is about like a parent and child. A child, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Whether they like it or not, don't matter what. They have to do what mommy or daddy say. I'll get back to that in a while. What I mean by hegemonious relationship. Professor, good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, Mr. Lennox.
Good night.
This is Wallafield calling.
Hey, good night to you.
This is call you.
Yes, man. Mm-hmm.
I listened tonight on Skype and Science Show Acclaim with Keith Rowley and Hines, where they signed for this, for the U.S. to come together, and they never had fun.
Yeah, that is SOFA. They call it SOFA, like the SOFA agreement. Yes, SOFA. SOFA. Yeah.
Try to blame we government, and that is unfair to we. I'm not comfortable, and next thing all I have to address is Teddy Becker went to the Venezuela embassy. That is a serious thing. All I have to see about that urgent. Okay then, Mr. Lennox, you have a good night.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, of course. And that is a fair assessment, a fair concern that any Trinbagonian would have, because the focus on Trinidad and Tobago is merely, frankly, scapegoating, they call that. As Kamala Prasad Bissessa rightly identified it as such, and of course retorted by simply saying, well, why you only tell Trump that? Why you only tell Trump don't come there? Why you only tell Trump move them boats that Trinidad and Tobago has no control over? And as I said, it is about hegemonism, which I will describe, of course, after this call, if there is no other thereafter. Present, good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, Mr. Lennox, and good night to everybody on the live.
Yes,
good night
man.
to Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
Mr. Lennox, listen to this now. You know, I cannot help, I really cannot help in my mind now, looking at what happened with Penny Beckers, how she went to the Venezuelan embassy. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at the news in Venezuela and the set of things that happen in terms of protests. And I'm wondering if this is a coordinated attempt from Venezuela and the PNM to destabilize this government. That's what I'm looking at now. Because it appears to be that. Because when you think about it, they have a certain sector of the society, right? By having them living in fear and talking as such as stupidness. And then you have the Caribbean on the other hand, those people from the Caribbean, right? Or from the islands, right? Them are all adding fuel to this fire. And then you have the media blowing this thing up. And with the PNM agenda. Because I look at CNC3 News tonight, and as you can see that this thing just didn't happen just so, you know. This seems to be very well coordinated, you know. This seems to be very well coordinated, you know. And boy, listen, PNM, all they go pay a serious price for this, you know, because all they will never be in office, all they will never see power in this country again after all it was in power for the last 10 years. And look what all they did to Trinidad and Tobago. Only have so much of questions to answer, so much of questions to answer. And only behaving like all the angels. All is not the angels, all just are demonic people, very demonic and evil. All the behavior say here now, all the behavior says a lot, you know. It says a lot. And I say thank God for people like Alan Roberts, because I saw him in the parliament up to today, right? And I look at his part in the Senate now, when he was speaking in the Senate.
His presentation, his contribution, yes.
His presentation, yes. And everything Alan said there was the truth. Everything Alan Roberts said there was the truth. And none of them can dispute that.
Yes. That's it?
Yeah, that's it. I go on. God bless.
Thank you very much. I want to say that particular caller is very perceptive. I think it cannot be said it is far-fetched to assume in the present circumstance, and having regard to the track record of Rowley and the PNM in particular when he was in office, and since he has come to the fore in this matter, claiming to be, of course, part of the old guard, so to speak, former leaders who want the Caribbean to remain a zone of peace. And whilst he was in government, we saw that he was totally biased towards, of course, the Venezuelan, putting Trinidad and Tobago's interests at risk in the process, claiming, of course, that he wants to go behind, of course, the so-called elusive dragon gas deal that, of course, never manifested or materialized. I would not be surprised, my friend. So I think you have a partner or someone who is also conscious that all of that is part of an orchestrated plan to try to destabilize the Trinidad and Tobago Kamala-led administration. And we, the ordinary people like you, and what we did today as love, making a total and comprehensive and absolute statement of our own concern, and the fact that Penelope Beckles was not just fast and out of place, but wants to give the impression that somehow she is part of the executive in the country. We saw it with Manning, we saw it with Rowley, and here she goes, I suppose, under the advice of Rowley. She's attempting to make that move, to give those 100,000 defectors from the PNM some impression that the PNM somehow is still in charge and large. And of course, I am surprised that they stop saying that they will prevail. I noticed that. They stop saying they will prevail, you know. It will come when they believe that they would have achieved the objective of undermining the present administration. But they are so myopic. They are so saturated with the prospects or the belief of power and the control of the government that they fail to recognize and realize some fundamentals. And what is that fundamentals? That social media has been able to provide a platform for people like myself who are committed nationalists and patriots, to let them know that we know their undermining agenda and that they will not have the time of day, far less for night, to proliferate, to mushroom, to foment that undermining, despicable, wicked, diabolical intent, as we saw with respect to the NAR, going back there, yes, as we saw in respect of Basio Pandey, Yes. As we saw with respect to Kamala Prasad Bisesa between 2010 and 2015, as Rowley went into the parliament and of course, bring bogus and of course self-serving evidence saying that of course they plan to of course kill, among other things, a journalist. They're up to their nasty, wicked, diabolical, Luciferian and power-mongering agenda that will not subsist in the present environment, because not just the people, but Kamala Prasad Bisesa and the UNC and the coalition of interests have made it very clear, abundantly clear, that they are not going to make the same mistake of the past, and that speaks volumes. And more significantly, they know the stripes of the PNM cannot change, and therefore that is what is coming to the fore at this point in time, and we will repel and we will rebuke and we will of course render them into the dustbin of political history in this country. A pleasant good night to welcome to the corridor.
Yeah, good night again, Doctor.
Good night.
I just want to say that that individual who say that PNM and Venezuela are trying to destabilize the country.
Yes.
He right. Yeah, he on the ball.
Yes. Yes, yeah. Indeed.
That's what I want to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And of course, and that I was in the process, of course, elaborating and accepting that as a strong possibility, because that is how they operate. We saw them between 2015 and, of course, the 28th of April, and therefore you cannot put that beyond them. But as I said, they will not succeed simply because they are countervailing or counterbalancing, or if you want to call it, counter elements to the subversion and the undermining and the maligning and the intentional destruction conjured up, contemplated, and being executed by the PNM in its present, of course, dispensation. Let's not waste time with that. And if we have to do it every night, we'll do it every night, every day. Ground report in the morning, corridor in the night. You have to be able to treat with these matters in a way that the PNM will understand that their days in government are over. They have failed the people, and they have now become persona non grata. They have become the existential threat to Trinidad and Tobago. And we know them, we have identified them, and we will, of course, make certain that they pay the price for attempting to once again overthrow a sitting government that is not PNM. Let's not waste time with that. I said to overthrow, yes, a government that is not the PNM. We have seen it under the NAR. We see it under Pandey. And we have seen it under Kamala Prasad Bisesa 2010 to 2015. And they must not get that opportunity again. That is the reality. But let me get back to the fact. Let me get back to the fact that there can be no relenting. There can be no countenance of this woman called the opposition leader going to the Venezuelan ambassador, knowing the volatility, if you want to call it that, but more importantly, the position of the government, the official government, and pretending to be some kind of quasi-parallel government in the illusion that she would have created for the people of Trinidad and Tobago to absorb. Yeah. We cannot forgive that. How the officials, law enforcement notwithstanding, see it, that's a matter for them. But the population must see it as political insanity. Political insanity for Penny to go to the ambassador pretending that she is acting in officialdom, when in fact the intention is to undermine the present administration and to usurp the responsibility that the government, the substantive government, has in managing the affairs of the country and taking it forward. A mandate was given to the present government, a massive mandate of over 26 seats in Trinidad and all two in Tobago. And you don't understand yet that you are really persona non grata, you and the PNM. Well, if you don't know, we will, of course, let you know, and you will find out. Because no right-thinking Trinbagonian will countenance or agree to that nonsense. It's unacceptable. Let's go to the lines. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, good night.
Good night.
Santa Flora in the house.
Hey, Santa Flora. How are you going, man?
Hi, good man. Top of the world.
Yes, same here.
Yeah, I can understand. People don't understand. Up to now, Kamala ain't talking nothing about war. All she's saying is that our border was not being protected, and she welcomed the Americans that come to protect our borders.
That's right. How war come in? How war come in?
How war come in?
That's right. How war come in, man?
We're so glad to get our borders protected for free.
For free, yeah. That's the added advantage. We can't, and we could not have afforded it anyway.
No. And now we've been protected. And you see the drugs in the boat.
Yeah. But they believe it's Grenada House and Vincent making that play, and they wouldn't know what they're talking, who they're talking to, about what they're speaking, apart from the physical content of the boat, of those boats. They believe, you see, it's Rowley and the PNM and of course those fake, what I consider to be leaders of CARICOM or in CARICOM, will try to make their people believe, because they wanted to make them continue to be seen as simpletons, as stupid people. But we have a duty to tell them they have the most sophisticated, should I say, intelligence intrusion devices you could think of, and all of it is in space. So from space, Earth is just like a cork ball or a flannel ball or a cricket ball from space. So they could see everything and anywhere. So they tell me about. Go ahead, my friend.
And one of the thing is, our next thing is that our ordinary fishing boat would never have 2 engines. They have 1. What are you doing with 2 engines?
But more than that, some of them are 3 and 4. But I think what is more hilarious is that if you are a fishing boat and you're fishing, you catching fish at that speed, you're going?
Exactly.
Imagine all that speed you're going, you catching fish. It's fish you're catching. Damn fools who are trying to hoodwink us and deceive us.
And when they tell them stop, or they stop, don't move, don't go no further, they continue to drive. They both with full speed.
Believe that they could escape either the drone or the helicopter.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah.
One moving through air, and there's no road up there. One moving through sea, but the sea has resistance. It hardly have any resistance up there, and they could see it from anywhere. You can't hide, but them speeding off to go and hide.
then you have the Trinidadian who get killed in the boat. He take a plane and go into Venezuela, but you're taking a boat to come back.
Yes, yeah, and a boat that is filled with narcotics.
Exactly.
And the parents and persons who are naive will say, well, he was just hitching a ride.
Yeah.
More than that, you know that the Americans have been blowing up boats like that in recent times. So you can't say you didn't know. So everything shows that you take a chance, and the chance materialize in an unfortunate incident that you didn't plan for, meaning that you lost your life. Full stop.
Yeah, yeah. And the next point again is why it is that 3 Cent had to go and talk to the Venezuelan embassy for people.
Yeah, well,
she had no right.
She gone mad, you know.
Between America, you know, when they went to sign the agreement, when they went to America, and did she take a plane and she gone up there like tobacco?
I tell you, she believed that somehow somebody could take she on, and that she is some kind of government official, that she's part of the executive, trying to upstage the legitimate government. That's all that is about, to generate some kind of power play that doesn't exist. Yes, indeed. People, look at her. There she is on the screen there with, of course, the Venezuelan ambassador. But I want to say this as well, my friend, as you hear, that the ambassador had no right to accept her based on what she went there for.
Exactly.
Had no right. That is poor diplomacy. But it also fuels what a previous caller said. That is probably part of a conspiracy. Venezuela doing one thing in their parliament, and she's doing the next thing here to reinforce that in Trinidad, and therefore it is wide open. It is as conspicuous as day that gives way tonight, and vice versa. That is what is happening. That is what clearly one has to conclude.
And it shows plainly that they condoling the drugs by.
Go to the top of the class. Ultimately, for what? Because they want to be where Kamala is, and Venezuela wanted to endorse that because they want people like Rowley to condone the nonsense and the terrorism and their dictatorship and their autocratic behavior to the detriment of the people, and we as well, because when the people come here and eat from us and sleep with us, utilize our resources, hospital, sports, etc., and then of course engage in criminal behavior, which we cannot control, which we have a difficulty in controlling. You understand what Penny and them and Rowley and those so-called former and current prime ministers are engaging to the detriment of Trinidad and Tobago. Well done, Kamala. Continue. Yes, go ahead, my friend.
Man.
Yes.
You're doing a good work.
Yes, man.
All right, we go talk again.
Yes, man. Thanks very much. Thanks very much for your intervention. Yes. Let's go to the handset. A pleasant good night. Welcome.
Yes. Good night. Calling back to tell you this.
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. From San Fernando.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
That caller there who talking about the fishing boat, the boat that they blocked.
Yeah.
Right now, anybody, I call it back to tell you this.
Yeah.
Anybody, I just thought about it, who have a fishing boat, the fishing boat must carry a net.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if the net pull a certain amount of fish. Where you going with all that speed with a net?
The speed alone. The speed alone. How you catching fish at that speed? Man just leave the net and come back. Man has to stay stationary in order for the fish to be attracted to the net, or you put the net in the path of the fish, so you know that they does assemble wherever that person from experience would have known, and they put the just as if you are hunting, you don't put your trap where the animal don't normally visit or traverse. You don't do it.
Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith, my mother was from Mayaro, right? And let me tell you something. When I was small, we used to go down on the beach to watch fishermen get in the catch. They used to call it pulling seine.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yes. I saw it happening to go. Yeah.
We are sure. You had to pull that whole net, and they used to like how you know tug a war kind of thing.
Right.
Pulling the net on one side, and on the far side you have other people pulling, and the fish coming in.
Right.
If you have a fishing boat going at top speed, how you carrying a net?
Yeah. Listen. I want to put a little hilarious tone to it. Imagine as you rightly said, at somebody's speed, but the speed that boat coming in might end up on the sand and maybe on the road ahead. like a motor car, with that speed. I mean, it is totally ridiculous. And these people must be pointed out for the nonsense. They're trying to put a square peg in a round hole as an argument, and it can't fit.
Yeah. So that's my contribution.
Right, thank you very much, my friend. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, people, with that speed, you're coming in with your fish. At that speed that we saw, those boats were moving with. The boat may well, of course, come on the shore, leave the sandy shore, and end up on the road ahead, and maybe giving a car or a truck competition on the road. First it has speed. yeah. My partner's still on the line. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's a ridiculous people song. I want intelligent people like us to accept the nonsense that they are defending and attempting, of course, to hoodwink us with. That is cacophonous babblings. That is ambulatory verbalizations of a cesspool nature. That is what that is. Nothing else, people. And let us not get tied up. What we know for sure, there's a reason for them doing it. Trying to insult our intelligence. Because they want power. They want power because they are intoxicated. They're drunk. And they are fools to believe that contemporary Trinbagonian, with their normal common sense, will accept that tomfoolery attempt. Go ahead, my friend. A pleasant good night.
Hey, good night, Lennox. You hear me better now?
Yes, much better now, man. Much better now. Much better.
Man, I stopped for dinner, man. I was driving, man. I was driving on the hectic traffic.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah. I just stopped and I have something.
Caller on the phone, hold on the handset, hold on. We have a call from United States. Go ahead, Kenrick.
Lennox, what I was talking earlier, what I was trying to tell you, reason that Rolling closed down the refinery, because they had something going on with Maduro.
Right.
They had something planned up before the election. How you think he learned how to rig the election? I think Maduro teach him.
Yeah, of course. And to some extent in Guyana too. Go ahead.
He owes Maduro something. Right? So they are all bosom body, even right now, they are trying to undermine the Trinidad, the new administration.
Yes.
To overthrow them.
Yeah. I would want to use that word, whether they like it or not, whether it's offensive or not, but that is the appropriate word. They are attempting to overthrow the Kamala Prasad Bisesa government. Yeah.
What called a spade a spade?
Yeah.
They try to overthrow the government, and that's the whole deal about that.
Yeah.
So now they want to plan up in Maduro so they could run a strategy to do that.
Yeah.
So that is what they're doing. So they have a lot of laws, Mr. Lennox.
Yes.
They have a lot of laws because deal will make Maduro. They have to carry it. They have to secure that because we don't know. They'll find out soon what it is.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm telling you, I am telling you again, they all know that pipeline was running from running from there to Venezuela, pumping back and forth. You never know. So, in other words, that's why they leave those people in the pipeline. They have a big politics. That's why Stuart Young and them and Stuart Young involved.
Yes.
They got to, if somebody got to answer for that and get his bottom of that. You see, it's all connected up, Mr. Lennox.
Yes.
If you sit down and look at it, it's all connected up.
Yeah. The puzzle is coming to
But I'll give you part of the puzzle.
to realization, yes. The puzzle is coming, the pieces are falling into place, yes.
So now they have to protect themselves at all costs. Even if they have to overthrow the government. But guess what?
Yeah.
Daddy is there. They cannot do it.
Yeah.
Once Daddy is there, they cannot do it.
Well, Daddy and Mommy. Daddy and Mommy. Daddy and Mommy. Yeah. All right.
Daddy and Mommy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Trump and Kamala Prasad Bisesa, yes.
Correct.
Yes. All right, my friend. We had a close down. Yes. All right, let me take this final call. Go ahead, caller, on the handset.
Okay. Good night, Lennox.
Good night.
So, before I deal with the resolution passed by the Venezuelan Parliament,
yes,
I just want to raise two matters.
Go ahead.
I saw on Facebook that there is a Trinidadian who has Ms. Bisesa house and telling Maduro to send missile in. What is the police doing? The Prime Minister ought to ask Alexander, what is the police doing? Why that person has not been locked up as yet?
Yeah, because it can't be free speech that is to be abused like that. That's all. It's subversive. It is treasonous. It reminds me of Rowley when he laid those fake emails in the Parliament. That gives me that kind of uneasiness. Uneasiness. Yes. Go ahead.
Any citizen who had attempted to threaten Rowley, they were brought before the court.
Yeah.
So the next thing I want to talk about is Parliament.
Yeah.
I find the Prime Minister ought to instruct the UNC MPs to act robustly against the Speaker. He's a very good lawyer, but he's trying to be fair, but he's favoring the PNM MPs, and he is allowing the House to get into disrepute and ODM.
I see.
And the place is totally a disrespectful place. I think they have to let him show on the Parliament channel the series with Bridget Annie said and how she operated, because these people are, imagine the MPs, PNM MP, leaving the seat while Parliament going and talking to the next person, and they are disobeying the Speaker ruling, and he's doing nothing. But as far as I'm concerned, half of them PNM MP should have already been carried out of Parliament at least 3 times, each one of them by the marshals already.
But do you think that, all right, let me ask you this, because I heard the same argument, I think it was yourself on the ground report this morning. Do you think that the fact that the opposition walked out of the parliament on one occasion and then issued a statement which caused Penny to be brought before the Privileges Committee. She is, of course, have a rendezvous with it in due course. Do you think that that kind of action by the opposition suggested that the speaker wasn't firm or should be more firm?
The speaker is not firm and observing the standing order.
Right. So you're saying that on every occasion that should be
supposed to have the standing orders with them.
Okay.
As with the PNM.
All right.
Used to do.
Right.
And every time they're jumping up and stopping the UNC people from speaking. That is what
because they will get up and walk out of Parliament for theatrics. No, for theatrics reason. I am sharing your view. I am saying I agree with you that what the hell, let them go. They have no use anyway.
But while they are there,
yeah,
they're not supposed to be overruling. They're not supposed to
be they want to have their way. And if they don't have their way, they're walking out and they're making statements afterwards, etc., and saying that they're not going to be silent or looking, creating themselves as a victim, and then, of course, manifesting, or should I say, acting as though they are victims, when in fact they are creators of the victim that is an illusion for political benefits.
To carry out the standing order.
All right.
But I just want to deal with the Venezuelan
go ahead.
parliament, the so-called parliament, with all of them, Maduro and them thieves, and them is MP.
Right.
So the speaker who was there yesterday, you know that is Delcy brother, right?
Yes. It's a family thing, handpicked assembly.
He too is sanctioned.
Yes.
But I don't know why Trump waiting so long, why he don't deal with these people, take away all the arms, because they will be threatening. There's a threat to the United States. I don't know why the United States has allowed this to reach so far. They have so many missiles and manufacturing.
No, but I suspect they are waiting on the right time. The Americans don't move without a high degree of what I consider to be certainty with, and I'm sure they have a number of scenarios that they would have worked out. Their generals are very strategic and specific. You notice that in Iran recently, of course, we have history of Noriega, and of course the Bishop crisis in Grenada, and of course some activities in Nicaragua as well. So we know, and we know that the CIA is of course in Venezuela, and they are just plotting and waiting. We saw, of course, how they effectively and efficiently dealt with Iraq. But why say there may be advantages and disadvantages, or similarities and dissimilarities with respect to the others? What I can tell you is that there is an opposition waiting in Venezuela to take over. Of course, a takeover here in the context of a transition government first and foremost, and then, of course, free and fair elections thereafter, and then, of course, the semblance of normalcy. Where, of course, Trinidad and Tobago, I expect, will benefit, because the people of Venezuela will thank Trinidad and Tobago ultimately for the part that they would have played in, of course, restoring democracy in Venezuela. That is the ultimate.
So let me just finish what I say.
Yes.
So what is going on there with the Venezuelan parliament? That, make no mistake, that is not in coordination with the PNM. So what we have in now, the Venezuelan Maduran company, they want regime change in Trinidad instead of regime change in Venezuela. They want to decide who should be the government in Guyana and who should be the government in Trinidad.
Yes, sir.
And
CARICOM leaders, let's complete the circle.
Americans hadn't come down in the during the time of the Venezuelan election.
Yes. Yes.
But
let us complete the circle. Let us complete the circle.
Yeah.
Whether advertently or inadvertently, CARICOM former and present leaders.
So from what I see in the current Maduro regime, they plan to frustrate Trinidad in exploiting all these cross-border resources. So my advice, my expert advice to the government is to allow the Americans to establish a base in Trinidad and take the Venezuelan resources to pay for the upkeep of the Americans in Trinidad. Take it by force, because that is what they will understand. That is why I recommend. So perhaps in Cedros they could establish
that is a scenario, and I'm sure that that might have been part of the issues that would have been raised during the course of as to how to make certain that Maduro is no more. All right, thanks very much.
Okay.
Yes, bye-bye. Well, yes, of course, people... Yeah?
All with these clowns talking about sovereignty.
Zone of peace.
Like plain and simple. Bye.
Zone of peace, amorphous, ideological, and of course, has no place in reality. All right, people, of course, we have come to the end. It's almost 10 o'clock. You catch me tonight. But of course, it was so interesting. So many of you I had to accommodate, so I thought I should, of course, accommodate, and so, of course, extend the time as a consequence. Let's go back, of course, to I think a religious perspective, but in a reggae style. Lionsgate.
Sons and daughters look around and see the wondrous thing that Jah done around. The birds and the puppies in a cool place of rest, and even the waters flow.
Yes, indeed, of course, we have come to the end of the program. Don't forget, of course, that tomorrow morning, the ground report, Andy, Michael, and myself, as we continue with these and other issues. Have a wonderful rest of the night. God bless. Yes, this evening we had a press conference to, of course, denounce and to announce at the same time our disagreement with the CARICOM leaders, present and former, and to support, to endorse the position of our present government, and in particular the Prime Minister, Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Have a wonderful one. See you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
When the sons and daughters look around and see the wondrous thing that Jah done around, the birds and the puppies in a cool place of rest, and even the waters flow, and the shining rainbow beyond the frosty clouds. Nothing is wrong that